Oh,
Hello.
we're on time with this. We can't.
Which hotel was that you're talking about?
No. Well, you'll see. It's just tubs. $5.55.
No, Peter, that's what I am. You did it on purpose. She wants to be.
Nobody listens to me. Can't be heard.
Thank you.
Y'all remember everything y'all say, they can hear. All the noise you make, they can hear.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order. Invocation, Debbie, would you like to?
Sure. Lord, thank you for us getting here together. Give us faith to make the right decisions, do the best for our small community, for small businesses, and help us with those decisions and go lead in the direction that you want us to lead. In your name, I pray.
Okay, let's all stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need a roll call.
Trustee Anthony,
Here.
trustee Calhoun,
Here.
trustee Cross,
Here.
trustee Johnson,
Here.
trustee Reed,
Here.
vice chairman Shear,
Here.
chairman Thorpe.
Yes, here. Okay, so the first order of business, I guess it's going to be, the only thing we have is the one for the small grant business program. What we're looking into on that is we're seeing if we can give each one of the businesses, and we're just starting off right now. We're looking at probably 8 or 10, say 10 full-time employees or smaller for the downtown or in this area, and giving them $2,000 each. The way we have it set up is they would have to, it would be set up for probably utilities and I guess utilities and I guess supplies. Won't be on payroll because the government's already gave a payroll protection plan. And then they'll have to send us back and show us where they use that at the same time. I was just checking to make sure and asking every one of y'all, do y'all think this is part of tourism since you're downtown and your businesses downtown pull people in to the hotels and restaurants and all that. So we're looking at that and we just need a discussion on that and see what everybody says.
Chairman,
Yes.
do you want to real quickly just get your photo made with Mike and the check? That's what he's here for. I'm sorry.
Okay. So we have a photo up.
Uh-huh.
So you need to do that now.
I just do you though, just two of you
Okay.
with the distancing.
Okay. Is that okay with everybody just to take care of him first? Okay.
I'm sorry. I just,
Who's the other?
he's it. Mike's it.
Hi, this is Joe McDaniel.
Hi, Joe. Jim's busy right now.
You said Steve? All right. You got a smile. That's it. Okay, we'll get back to business now. So we need a discussion on this, on what everyone thinks and how to promote it and what specifications.
Jim, I know that there were some concerns about the restrictions and how we can identify those businesses. That's why we attached these three are cities that are doing that at this time already. And it gives a little bit of guidance on some of these. The OCURA small grant, I think it really gives some definitions on eligibility exclusions. And I think maybe that we need to really look at those as we go into this. I guess first though, a decision would be made if we want to do it. and how much?
I hope you're gonna allocate. Take everything, see what it's up to. Set them out for. We allocate $10,000 and we have 50 people fly, we're gonna divide that 10,000 by 50 or what?
I'm sorry, guys, I can't hear.
I can't either.
No.
Go ahead.
They can hear, our audio's not on.
No, I can hear you. I think you have to get closer to the mic, I think is the thing.
Anyway, how much are we gonna allocate?
We were looking at maybe.
Can you guys
15
hear? Wait just a minute. Can you guys hear now?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, yes.
We were looking at $15 to maybe $2,000 per business under maybe 10 full-time employees. Be real small businesses. Could be 15. Or if you want to go your route and just allocate so much.
I think we need to look at the amount and maybe go with the total amount and then decide, exactly how much we want to allocate for each business. And if we don't get the total number of applications, my suggestion would be that we go ahead with that dollar figure and divide it into the numbers that we get that are eligible for it.
Are we talking about giving them money for employees or money for the business owners to use as rent or utilities or whatever?
It can't be for payroll because it's that payroll and has to do with employees. That's from the federal government. So we
Right.
want in that way. This will be for their utilities and probably their lease or their loan.
For the business owner. Right. Okay.
Well, I mean, even that, Jim, can qualify under the Paychecks Protection Program for it. So you can use it. You can also use it for lease, utilities, as well as any kind of interest expense.
So you think we'd be doubling up on the payroll protection plan then? It'd be better not to do that?
You could be. Here's my take. I'll go ahead and throw it out there. I feel just with what I've read and what Jennifer sent over, I'm not sure. I mean, I love the idea to be able to help our small businesses. I know they need it. I'm just not sure if the tourism is the way to go with it. Looks like the chamber and the economic development were the two that were prominent in those other grants that occurred. Have we got any type of legal counsel engaged in this just to see if it's doable?
And so you seem to think, and you've got a good question here. It's to economic development and not as much tourism since this is downtown, right?
Yeah, and I also somewhat struggle of putting limitations. I understand the small business side if that was a direction. I think it's really tough to put within a city to put geographical restrictions on it of how the tax is being generated, right, for it. But again, my biggest thing is can we even do it through the tourism? And I would definitely want to get direction from legal on that.
You pretty well voiced my concern about it too. I think it's a great idea, but I don't think we can just hand out money because without some legal in writing, a legal opinion in writing telling us that it's all right for us to do it. I mean, he's verbalized exactly my concern.
And I do agree with the specifications on the eligibility of the business district, because I'm afraid that we collect this tax entirety within the city limits. And if we just specify what is downtown, is it the business district? How are we going to justify that?
Sure.
If we do that? And I'm definitely for it, but I just think that there is some legalities that,
Well, I thought we were going to try to get a hold of an attorney to make sure that we were within the, I don't know, it was legal for us to do it.
and we can, I mean, Jim, you,
Sure, if we look at it and everybody agrees, we can get to an attorney. Do we really have to go to one over in Ardmore? Could we find one here, sort of like Mark Morrison or something like that? Would that be okay, or
That's fine with me. I just want to make sure that we're not doing anything wrong. And I'm like, y'all, it's the money's collected for the whole city. And how can we say, I have a downtown business, but I don't know that it's fair to say only downtown and exactly what is downtown. And does that leave everybody else out? Is that going to cause us problems?
I agree
I
with
agree
that.
with that.
yeah, you
agree.
probably couldn't leave anybody else out. And then some people are going to be happy about it, some people are not, because if you set the requirements that you happen to have equivalent to 8 or 10 employees, and somebody's got 12 or 15, you're going to have some people upset on that too.
Well, see, like at Copper Kettle, we have 6 employees. So we would fall in that bracket, but I agree with you. If somebody's got 11 and they're going to go, well, why can't I get, it can snow, but you're never going to make everybody happy. I don't care what you do. Ever.
Let me ask this, would it be better if we went ahead and made a decision on the amount, and then we can take something to an attorney that would say, this is what the DTEDT has proposed. Can you tell us if this is in our realm? Can we do this?
I would be hesitant to name an amount because it's going to be out there public when we do it. Until I know that we legally can do
Can
it.
we?
I agree.
And it gets back to Brendan. I don't know if we need to start right there, or maybe we should vote and see if we should turn it over to economic development to start off with, since that's more in line with them than us being downtown.
I
Yeah,
miss
and I
Park.
think it's definitely worth the conversation, right? Of, 'cause I think it's a great idea, and you see other cities leaning in with this type of program. I just feel with what I've known, what I've read, I'm not sure if the tourism authority is the right place for it. But what other things? I think it's visiting with our city manager and mayor and the economic development side as well, just seeing what avenues are out there that we can push or at least introduce something like this.
I don't have a problem coming from the hotel or this tourism tax so much as, I don't know, I can just see all kinds of different problems that could come up with it. I don't know that the other organizations you're talking about, like Industrial Authority and all them, if they would even consider doing it, because they are going to feel the same way. What guidelines do they go by?
The
No, absolutely.
economic development is economic development / Durham Industrial Authority. Could we get the city manager up here? Could you give us some input, John Dean?
I think Brandon's dead on. I mean, I think you need to get a legal opinion of whether you can do this or not to start with. I mean, because you're shooting in the dark, and you set up a program and you give some folks money, and I think without a legal opinion, you're safe to get some legal opinion, but it'll be from a court, not from an attorney that you've hired. So,
Even when the federal government did it, they had to all get their hand in the pot before they could do it. And the president and the House and the Senate had to agree to it. And we've got nobody but this trust and the people who set this trust up. And we don't really have a good way to go to the people. That's why I think before we can proceed with this, we must have some legal authority.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we take this to an attorney for an opinion,
Okay.
A written
Let me
opinion.
ask him
a
one more
written
question.
opinion. Yes.
Let me ask him one more question. Do you think this is more, like Brandon said, uh, um, something more that the economic development would be able to take care of than a Durant Trust Authority like this?
I think a citywide program falls more under the industrial authority. I think a program, if you guys support it, the way you read your trust indenture is probably just tourism related businesses. I mean, that's the way I read it, but I'm not an attorney,
Sure.
but I do think you could help support those types of businesses. So,
So you made a motion to take this to an attorney?
And I think that time is of the essence on it, that we need to move as quickly as possible.
I agree.
Anybody wanna make
I'll
a
second that motion.
Make a second, Charles? Okay, we got a motion by Janet and a second by Charles. Need a roll call?
Trustee Anthony,
Yes.
trustee Calhoun,
Yes.
trustee Cross,
Yes.
trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Reed,
Yes.
vice chairman Shear,
Yes.
chairman Thorpe.
Yes. Okay, now on an attorney, are you comfortable with an attorney here in town, or do we need to go on over to Ardmore?
I'm comfortable with one in town that's reputable, and I think we have plenty of those available to us.
Yeah, my only thing would just be someone that's familiar with this type of trust, right? That understands it for it. And so whoever you guys think is most qualified for that.
Okay, who has a suggestion on an attorney here in Durant?
Well, you mentioned Mark Morrison. I think he's reputable, and I'm pretty sure he knows a lot about trusts. So I think he would be a good one to talk to, or, and I'm sure there's others.
Okay, everybody satisfied with Mark Morrison?
I think that's fine.
You want anything like that?
You're
Well,
gonna
okay.
need to get him set vendor and get a, purchase order for his fees before you obtain his services. So you need to get the purchase order first, just as a reminder.
Well,
Can
what
we-
would contact Mark first and just ask if he would be comfortable doing it? And
And an estimate its cost, and then get your purchase order, and
Right.
then
Okay, can you do that for us, Janet?
Yes. I'll get it taken care of.
if he's isn't comfortable with it, and if he does, he could even recommend somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that part of your motion?
It was not part of my motion, no.
Do you need to have a motion?
Do we need to have a motion that we're looking into Mark Morrison?
It's not on the agenda. We can't vote on it.
I could put it in the notes. that-
It's part of the discussion and consideration of approval of this.
So you'll
Would
be
be
putting it
in
in the
there.
notes, Cindy, that we're
Yeah,
looking
I
into
can put
Mark
it in the
Morrison and see
notes.
if he will do this or not.
Mhm, yes. And then there's a question of if he will. Well, John, if he agrees to do it, does that need approval? Or,
I think the amount would need approved.
But we really can't come up with an amount until after we've talked to him. Am I right? Or
Yeah. Any more discussion? Any more business?
I make a motion with adjourn.
Okay, I have a motion for Charles.
second,
I'll say,
Any seconds it? Roll call?
trustee Anthony,
Yes.
trustee Calhoun,
Yes.
trustee Cross,
yes.
trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Reed,
Yes.
vice chairman Shear,
Yes.
chairman Thorpe.
Yes. I thank all of y'all for showing up. I think wisdom comes in numbers, and we appreciate everything that you've done. Thanks.
Hi, Charlie. Bye, Danny. Bye. Good to see y'all.
So he's got somebody, he wants somebody to pick it up. He wants to get it up. Used to be a holiday in Mountain, not this old. It's old. Yeah. Yes. This is not good, I'm the highest can't run myself. You have got time going down, you're in trouble. That's not. For me? No, I said mine. Yeah, a champion on this, okay? So he's in a lot of them. I'm not too excited about bringing money in May. And I don't know if I'm bringing money in June or July, because, and Vicky said something about it, I said, you know, here's the problem. Is that you can get 10 people in there real fast on that. And 2 more want to go. And they're gonna complain. They're gonna trash you out. And you have no, even if down this, I don't care. They want in there, just like on the beach. And so now you're gonna pick up people. doing this. And so how are you gonna figure out that? Yeah, and then if you have one of them that get coronavirus and you put in 15 people, guess what? You're never.
Exactly. And I don't have time to monitor. And I'm sure my under, just like y'all don't pay somebody standing out there to monitor.
Until they get the
that was my fear too. But we forced our fitness early on too, so they went in there anyway. I heard this all the shut around that. I said, our shine's up, right? Yeah, our shine's still up. I said, let them make the Christmas they want.
We shut our.
But we did shut, I mean, it's still